Like I was a junior, initially junior engineer, junior product manager. But I would just say, at the time I was working at Cisco, it was like, what would John Chambers be thinking about? And I would force myself to come up with a point of view. And when I showed up to the interview, I would literally say, hey, look, I have a few thoughts myself about what I think I'd be doing if I were there. I could be totally wrong. I don't have the data set you all have, but I want to share my point of view about what I see about Cisco and what Cisco's up to and where it should go and where I think it's getting it wrong and what I hear and what I'd be doing. And by the way, 80 or 90% of the time I would be totally off,
Mm.
right? But the person on the other side would be like, this person has the chutzpah,
Yeah.
come in here with a point of view, with some research, and the conversation would be so interesting, so much more interesting than because they would push back on it. They'd say, what about this data? They'd be like, that doesn't make sense. I'd be like, well, what about this? And pretty soon the interview would be over. And I would usually get jobs that were 2 levels above whatever they were interviewing me for, because they'd be like, this is an interesting individual.
Because of the way you approach and the way you think about, you're just not the cookie cutter guy. And so because of that mentality, that puts you levels ahead then.
Because the entire interview process is about standing out.
Right. Right.
And so what stands out more than the dude who shows up and says, if I were the CEO of your company, this is what I'd be thinking about,
Okay.
right? Whatever it might be. Now, I'm not saying this is one approach.
Right.
My point is, I was very junior at the time. The question is, do you have the courage to stand out?